let's take a quick look at the Model tab here. This is where you edit the seams and deal with your 3D object so that you can create patterns. On the left-hand side are all the tools here. If you mouse over a tool, the tooltip should appear. I think I've been fairly complete with this. The one tool I recommend avoiding for the moment is the Move or Rotate tool. You generally shouldn't need this unless you need to reorient your models, but my recommendation is to use another tool or another piece of 3D software for the moment. If we continue down along the left here, this will open the help for any tool that we're currently using. So we have the select tool selected here. If we click the help, it will bring up a dialog box that shows the help. Then here, this little mouse here, if you click on this, this will show us the navigation and how to use navigation in the software. The software is designed so it's consistent with a couple of keys in every tool. So anytime you're doing something you want to cancel, you can just hit the escape key. So if I'm drawing a line and I escape, it will cancel the current action. Alternatively, the spacebar is the accept key. So if I'm drawing this line and I hit the spacebar, it will leave the line and stop it on the last segment. Control Z will undo, and I'm just going to escape there. The other thing to know about navigation here is if I'm in the middle of using a tool and I want to force navigation because maybe I want to reorient my model, I can just hold down Control and Alt, and that will override the tool so that I can navigate now without having to worry about clicking and having the tool do something. I can also use Control Alt double click to focus on a particular area of the model. Let's see if I can get a better example there. So now it's put the area I clicked on in the center of the screen, and now we'll rotate around that. So that allows you to have a better ability to really zoom in and work on some particular thing you're after. Along the top here are any options or controls that are shown for the tools. So this will change as you click on tools. So if I click on the select tool, it doesn't really have any options or controls for it, so it disappears. But if I click on the create seam on plane tool, you'll get specific controls here. Or if I click on the create seam on edge tool, I get a slider here. And if you mouse over it, it will tell you the tooltip again. So this is important to know because this is generally, instead of cluttering the UI with a lot of additional text, I try to use the tooltips to help describe what a particular control does. If we come over here to the right side, these two icons here determine how patterns are shown to us. So I'm going to go and reorient my view here. So right now I'm looking at these patterns with the color shown. So I have two ways I can show the patterns. This is show me the distortion, and this will just show me all the patterns with the grain lines, which is what the arrows are here, which indicate the orientation or direction of the pattern. Or alternatively, I can go to the fabric view here. On the far right here is the object tree. This shows us all of the things that exist in our project. And I can right click on any of these to see what options are available. So let's say seam 0 here. My options are shown in the menu here. I can hide this or I can show it. I can show info about it. And if you select multiple options, the software will try to figure out, so I've selected multiple seams here. The software will show me all of the options that are available for those multiple things. So in this case, because I've selected multiple seams, I can get information about the seams. And it's just going to combine these details and give us a summary. But if I select objects that are different, like let's come down here to the seams and select some seams and patterns, the software recognizes that all it can do is adjust the visibility or delete the items. If I click on an individual object here, I get my properties down here. And these are things that I can edit or change about the object. So we'll see this here is shown what the description of the pattern is and what the name for the pattern and what the material. So if I change the material here, you'll see it changes here. The software tries to, one of the goals around how I built the software was I really wanted to make it so that you're not having to set a whole bunch of defaults. So the software tries to choose reasonable defaults for you. So you don't feel like you have to put the names and descriptions in for all of the patterns that you've cut unless you want to. The software will automatically create IDs for the patterns. And if you're unhappy with the IDs for the patterns, you can come up here to model, or I can do it. I guess I have to do it up here because I have it selected here. And I can say, I have to do it from here, reset pattern IDs. So this is going to go through and it's going to regenerate all of the patterns with the new IDs so that this way they start at 0. We'll talk a bit more in other videos about why this decision to automatically increment the pattern IDs was made. It's just so that if you happen to be cutting out patterns and iterating on your projects, you don't end up with 2 patterns that have the same ID and end up mistakenly sewing things together that shouldn't be together.